everybody. Welcome to the party where the nuts hang. It's just a rap thing.
And we're back with episode 59 of The Sounds of Struggle. I am the uplifting bandit of Chris Parrish.
I am Can Finally Wrestle Again, Meniac.
Yeah, and big news, everyone. Pro wrestling is allowed in Alberta again. Well, more so Edmonton.
Oh, only Edmonton's finally back. Everywhere else, it was always allowed because the rest of this province is better than Edmonton.
Well, I mean, except for Calgary. I mean, the wrestling scene has been dead for years there.
Yeah, that's sure.
Thanks, Hearts. Assholes.
Sure.
Why don't you just scrape your ass with another spatula and try to see if I want some scrambled eggs?
Well, that's disgusting.
Well, that's the old frickin' Stu Hart story.
That's not quite it, but sure, we'll go with that.
It was.
That's close enough.
It literally was.
It was cat shit, not his own ass, but it's fine.
Well,
Same thing, I guess.
I mean, I figured all Harts produced cat shit.
Sure.
I mean,
Wait, does that mean Kato's a cat? AKA a heart?
well, I mean, he does wear Teddy Hart's knee pads.
Oh, that's so unfortunate for him.
Right? I mean, you know what we should do? Next time we're in the ring with Kato, we should literally get him a litter box. And then, like, scoop, slam him in there. Yeah, see what I did? Yeah.
But then hold his face in there until he stops breathing. Bad kitty.
Well, I mean, just saying. I mean, he could tap out before.
I wouldn't stop.
It's not like that's
You gotta teach the cat a lesson.
It's not a chokehold. It's just,
It's not me that's choking him. It's
yeah.
the cat litter. Point is, the rest of the kitty cat clan would understand and they'd fall into line.
Right now.
Right meow. Little pussies.
So, speaking of little pussies.
Wow, you have to be very careful you choose your next words here.
What? I'm just going to talk about our horrible hockey teams right now. The Edmonton Oilers, Chicago Blackhawks, because neither one of them know how to play hockey at the moment.
This just in. Chicago played tonight against Toronto and lost in overtime.
Yeah.
As per.
Well, at least they got a point. I mean, they did just get spanked 7-3 by the Islanders. The Oilers just got spanked 5-0 by Buffalo.
Yeah, but
who's in last place.
But at least the people who work at United Center are trying to help. They actually turned the lights off partway through that game.
Yeah.
Didn't help though.
And you know what happened in Rogers? At the Oilers game?
Nothing?
No, apparently a father and his little boy went to the bathroom and found a jersey in the urinal.
Okay, here's what I don't
So
understand.
something even worse than throwing it on the ice, they find it in the urinal.
Here's what I don't understand. And this is just me. Maybe I'm just too damn cheap. But even though my team's playing like shit, I put my jerseys away and just don't touch them for a bit. That's $125 to $220 worth of jersey that you just threw away for no damn reason. Which, once they start to get good again, it might take a while, we don't know, but once they get good again, you're going to be pissed off you just threw away a jersey in the pisser. You're an idiot.
I also want to know, well, if he thinks a whole jersey should be in the urinal, who's on the back?
I'm going to say Lucic. Because he's playing like the shits right now.
Apparently, he's also been downgraded to the fourth line in practice.
Probably smart.
Now I just want McClellan to know, take him off your power play unit, you dumb bastard.
Yeah, he's on the fourth line because he's double deuces. Just 2 tons of shit.
Well, you're not wrong. So yeah, outside of that, I mean, not a lot in hockey. I mean, there's a couple all-star things with them bringing out
a couple new events.
Yeah. Now there's a passing one.
And there's one that's it's like basically a barrage of the goalies where they have to stop as many as possible or something like that.
And I believe they also added back the 3 stride leadoff for the fastest skater.
So McDavid's going to crush it this year for sure.
I think the rule is McDavid has to start at the line while everybody gets a 3 stride head start, and then still find out that they're still his bitch.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, outside of that, what was it? Charlotte Checkers
versus the Bridgeport Sound Tigers had 0 fans at a game because, get this, all the Canadians are going to laugh at this, and some of the people in the northern states, there was 3.5 inches of snow.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Shut down the state, guys!
Well, apparently there actually are some states in the U.S. that when it snows, it's like a shutdown.
Yeah, they go into like a state emergency because they never see snow.
It's
Which,
hilarious.
you know what? It's North Carolina. It's always sunny. Okay, fine, I get that. But 3.5 inches? Like, people literally pulled over to the side of the highway and waited for hours until it dried up. Like, come on.
Well, I was listening.
Just drive slow. Like,
I was
don't be
listening
stupid.
to another podcast a couple days ago, and one of the co-hosts said that their city is in the city is in a lockdown, and you'll actually see people get out of their cars and just walk to where they have to go because apparently it's too dangerous on the road that people will just leave their cars where they are and walk.
Man, we could clean up down there.
Right?
All we gotta do is go down there with our vehicles, with our winter tires, and we just drive people around. We could make a fortune.
Right? I mean, talk about being an Uber.
Oh yeah, that'd be uber amazing,
Right.
money-wise. Also, they say Crawford is suffering from vertigo post-concussion syndrome. He was thought at one point not to be coming back at all this year, possibly done for good, but I guess he has been practicing with the team again, very slowly, so that's good news, because that would be really, really unfortunate if he was done for good.
Yeah, I just heard Duncan Key Patrick Sharp, slept with his wife, and now he's ready to go again.
Awesome. That's, sure. Not sure how to respond to that.
Yeah, I didn't think you would.
Also, Olympic news for hockey. The women's team for North Korea and South Korea have combined. They are now going to play under one banner for the women's hockey, I guess for their gold, which there's no way they're going to win. But, I mean...
So in 2018, we're going to have Canada go against the United States, go against Russia, go against Sweden, Finland, possibly Iceland, depending on the qualification rounds. But then the unification of the new country, Paul Korea?
Yeah, North and South Korea equal Paul Korea.
Yeah. Okay.
But as soon as they come up against the Canadian, they done. Head down, center ice, kaboom!
Yeah. Stevens. Speaking of Iceland, you know which movie had Iceland as a world dominating in hockey? The Mighty Ducks.
Number 2.
Yeah. And guess what? The Mighty Ducks, boom, becoming a TV show.
I'm very interested and intrigued. I'm wondering if they're going to redo the entire thing, or if they're going to do, like, before the first movie, and after the first movie, what the deal is.
Well, I'm kind of curious on who's going to be in the show. I mean, is Gordon Bombay still going to be there? Is it still going to be
Is it
Emilio?
going to be, like, years and years later, or are they going to do it like an original, kind of like a different take, like a revamp?
Yeah. I mean, I remember the animated, like the cartoon Mighty Ducks. Do you remember that one?
Weren't they all actual ducks?
Well, it was like robotic ducks, like
Yeah.
playing like so it was kind of cool. And then that kind of sparked the graphics for Fox.
Yeah.
If you remember that, that's when they had the blue streak on the puck
Yeah.
and everything. But yeah, so
My question to you is, if they're going to revamp another sports movie of any kind, what movie would they revamp into a TV show?
ooh, Slapshot maybe.
That's exactly what I said, but it has to be either Netflix or HBO, because you can't have that be on a regular one. It's got to be able to be like the movie, because that could be a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, we also saw Friday Night Lights become a TV show.
Yep.
Varsity Blues, very much, I
Yep.
think, could be. I don't know. I Remember the Titans, unless that already was.
No, but that was just... I mean, yeah, I guess you could spin it off, but I don't know. I think that one might be a little bit harder. Just because it's based on one team, one season, but I don't know. You could keep that one going.
What about Happy Gilmore?
That one you could do for sure.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I don't know. I think there's a few. I mean, I'm sure there's a baseball one, like the Major League.
You could definitely do Major League
Yeah.
comedy TV show. Again, that one would have to be like an HBO, Netflix, A&E, something that allows them to get away with swearing, nudity, something you can, give them very few boundaries that they have to.
What
stay
about
within.
CBC? Because nobody really watches that either.
Yeah, no, that's public broadcasting from the government, so it would be all equality, nothing good.
Government kind of they bring that emotion out of people.
Not in a good way.
That's what I mean.
So you want a shitty Major League TV show on CBC?
No, I'm just saying, like, have like a product like that, and then they can be like, look, we have a sense of humor, ha ha ha.
But then all the liberals be like, oh my God, look at how profane this is, blah 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 blah.
Maybe that's their selling point of saying, hey, look, we're easing up. Give us your votes.
Not gonna happen.
I'm just saying.
Not gonna happen. Also, to go back on what we talked about earlier, I think it was a podcast or two ago, Seattle has put in a bid for, or the list of 13 names which they want to have their NHL team be named.
Yep, and
one of them,
which is, I believe, the one that I said they were going to be called, or that I would call them, the Seattle Emeralds, and the name Emeralds, boom, one of those 13 teams.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up the other list, the list of the other names right now.
So I'm just saying, I mean,
You heard it here first.
Call stuff here. I mean, we called Road Warriors.
Yeah.
We called Neville turning heel on, like, episode 1.
Yeah, we really did. That was a long time ago.
That's not even a Star Wars reference, people.
We called Enzo going to 205 Live, like episode 10.
No.
10.
And we'll get to Enzo in a second.
Okay, so we got here Seattle Cougars, Seattle Eagles, Seattle Emeralds.
If it's Cougars, I really want to know what their ice curls are going to look like.
Well used.
Wales also is a name.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seattle Evergreens. So they're going to be trees, I guess.
Apparently.
Seattle Firebirds.
I hope their AHL team are the Polar Bears.
Yeah. My personal favorite, the Seattle Kraken, just because there's so much you can do with that.
Right? Just a picture of a butthole.
Exactly. Rusty Sheriff's badge. Release the Kraken. Seattle Rainers.
That would be
What
putting
the
a
hell
jersey
is
in a
that?
urinal, and like that. There's a whole separate like conversation.
Absolutely. Seattle Renegades. Seattle Sea Lions. Seattle Seals, which is kind of a throwback to the Golden Seals of sorts.
Yeah, but that was California.
I know, still it's a throwback-ish. Seattle Sockeyes, because I guess they sucker punch people in the eyeballs. Seattle Totems.
Of course, they can be coached by Bertuzzi.
Well, guys got to think.
I guess.
And Seattle
I guess
Whales.
enough time has passed.
Yeah. Seattle Whales, which I think they should stay away from because
Yeah.
that was Hartford's thing. Just
Right.
So those are the 13. Again, my favorite is
I would
the
have just
Kraken.
vetoed that and not even had that as one of the 13.
Yeah. My favorite's the Seattle Kraken. The second favorite would actually have to be the Emeralds.
And really, like, why Sockeyes? Like, whose bright-ass idea is it to call a team, hey, I'm the captain of the Seattle Sockeyes? It's like, what the fuck is a Sockeye? And then, what are you going to do? Just have a picture of Rihanna's face as your logo?
Could have a picture of Whitney Houston's face.
And then...
Could have a picture of there's a lot of people.
Yeah, Rich Swan.
Charlotte.
Woo!
Could have a picture of let's see, what gets beaten a ton and exposed. Paige's vagina.
Under her own umbrella.
Exactly.
Don't know. Or Sunny.
Yeah, just picture of Sunny.
Huh.
And then she could actually be the mascot, and you guys would win because everyone would get venereal diseases that come in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of coming in there, especially when you probably shouldn't, this is the case where you probably shouldn't have even attempted it. But Enzo Amore has been fired from the WWE
Based on some rape allegations.
which, at first he was suspended because that's kind of the protocol in WWE. They suspend you first, they investigate the situation. If found guilty, they then immediately terminate you. In this situation,
I think they've been looking for a reason to get rid of him for a while.
well, in this situation, Enzo Amore actually knew about the situation, didn't actually say anything. On top of that, apparently this has been one of his final straws.
The straw that broke the whore's back.
Well, or Paige's neck.
Wow. Yeah, I can see why he got fired.
But, I mean, there's like, just how many situations that we've heard Enzo Amore be in lately. I mean, just, there are rumors about his attitude and his involvement on outside of the ring activity has just been absolutely insane lately. I don't know if anybody saw Straight to the Source with...
It was brutal.
Yeah, I wanted to punch him in the mouth.
Yeah, that was brutal.
And,
look at the bright side. He gone.
Yeah.
And now 205 Live has a new champion in Vacant.
Yep.
Vacant's back.
And you can follow him on Twitter.
That guy is the best.
And he flat out tweeted the other day, he's like, the reason why he had to give up the United States title is that he had to cut weight so he can claim the Cruiserweight Championship.
That guy's a legend.
A legend. Talk about a sacrifice that you have to make for the good of a company.
Good for him.
When you need a reliable workhorse, Vacant is there. If he ever gets let go, I think MPW should pick him up.
I think that MPW should pick him up regardless.
Yeah. However, Daniel Bryan on this week's 205 Live did say that a commissioner will be named next week, and his first order of action is to acknowledge and take care of the Cruiserweight title situation.
Yeah.
So, do not look for anything to happen at the Royal Rumble, because apparently this is going to happen next week on 205 Live, which means the Enzo Amore versus Cedric Alexander Cruiserweight title match at the Rumble has been officially scrapped.
Maybe they'll do some sort of battle royal or something on 205 Live.
Well,
Tis the season.
I just assumed on 205 Live they would have a battle royal of every cruiserweight except for Cedric Alexander, and then the winner would face Alexander for the title at Rumble.
Now, they said they're going to bring in the commissioner, so who do you think the commissioner could be? Returning Rey Mysterio?
No. Rockstar Spud?
Could be Rockstar Spud. What about Billy Kidman? Isn't he kind of somewhere backstage somewhere doing
Well,
something?
he's a producer, I guess.
He could be
or
on
Dean
air.
Malenko?
They could both be on air personalities.
Or maybe you just have, a big guy in there. Just for, maybe...
Big Cass.
Maybe just Gold Dust.
Yeah, it could.
I don't know, what about Jamie Noble?
Yep, could do that.
Joey Mercury?
Yeah. Put J&J Security in charge of it.
Yeah. Because we know how well that's worked out in the past.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I guess we're kind of in wrestling. Before we flat out get into wrestling, Super Bowl has been announced. New England Patriots
versus the Philadelphia
Eagles.
Eagles.
So, needless to say, that scene that happened in the last, Batman movie where the stadium blew up because they didn't care about the game. That's kind of what I want to happen.
That was actually Bane, but I'm sure we actually know a guy who cosplays as Bane. We could talk to him, see if he can do it.
Right. Give
that a whirl.
Yeah. So I think my.
Speaking of championship stuff,
yeah,
your boys, Tag Struggle, are headed to the Grey Cup this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
A certain Meniac went all out and got some season tickets to the Eskimos, and with that came Grey Cup tickets. We go into the big game.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to lie. Totally forgot we talked about that before, about the Grey Cup being in Edmonton. And, yeah.
So, if you end up having to go, you can find Shaun Martens, the headlining that place, along with the king of CWC, a.k.a. you could be a cruiser. You could go be the commissioner. Go be the commissioner of 205 Live. And then, but make sure you're back here for November so you can come to Grey Cup with us.
Well, why don't I just tell WWE to book a show in Edmonton?
That'd work.
Then I don't have to go anywhere. I can just be right here the entire time. Because, as we all know, wrestling is allowed in Edmonton again.
Hooray!
The ban has been lifted, which, by the way, MPW Wrestling, February 3rd, Alberta Ave Community Hall. Get your tickets now.
Right now. We'll wait. And we're back. Thanks to we waited. We told you. By the way, MPW, big announcement. We are now sponsored by Match Restaurant, which is in Rogers Place.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
Apparently, Rogers Arena says we need something with excitement in this building. As they look at the Oilers and saying, any day now. And then we just showed up and we're like, what about us? And they're like, yeah, we'll take you.
You're like, well, it's either that or the Oilers. Well, we'll go MPW.
I mean,
right on.
One might say Rogers might be no match for Tag Struggle.
Sure. You lost me on the reference, but I'll go with it.
Because we're sponsored by Match.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Point is, yeah, we're sponsored. Cool. Yeah. Right on.
And another thing, 2 big matches confirmed for February 3rd. Irishman against Crazy Core, MPW heavyweight title.
And the other one...
Dean Richter, which I called in a promo, he's now the dud Dean Richter against myself for the provincial title.
The dynamic dud.
Which, by the way, a promo's going to be coming out of me for that match. I suggested. It's quite funny, actually.
I mean, as per, right?
I mean...
Right on.
Yeah. So...
I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know if I'm going. I have a back thing. It's healing, but it's taking its damn time.
Well, I mean, we both have back problems. I mean, we've been carrying the wrestling scene in the greater Edmonton area for, 3 years now?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I might just be ringside for yours. I haven't decided yet.
Speaking of being ringside, there's a certain event happening in May, and then apparently they had a vote of who Jason Strudwick could accompany.
Okay, before we go any further,
and Tag Struggle,
this is literally
one.
Yeah, this is literally the first I've heard of Jason Strudwick apparently going to. What is he wrestling someone?
Well, what's funny was, as we all know, Mark Majot, big wrestling fan,
huge wrestling fan,
told Jason Strudwick that he'd be a great jobber if he was ever to be a wrestler.
Well, I mean, it's hard to argue that,
right? So. Then all of a sudden, a lot of things spiraled out. Jason Greger, who's the host of his own show on the radio, decided to just have some fun, poke some wrestling-related humor on
Greger's
Twitter.
Kind of a passive fan, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, so for whatever reason, his name was thrown around as. I think I may have tweeted about how he should, accompany us to the ring for this, I believe, the Summer Clash against Cancer show in May.
Super Clash.
I'm going to say it's now going to be Struggle Clash against Cancer.
Struggle Clash.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and then they had a poll, and then, let's face it, Tag Struggle, your boys.
Did anyone else even get a vote?
I don't know. I know.
Because last I checked, it was 100% for us.
There's 9 votes. I mean, we won 89 to 11, 0-0.
So yeah, someone else.
I think the Irishman voted for himself. I think.
Well, I mean, someone's got to vote for him. No one else will.
Right. So, but yeah, I mean, like a Kenyan, we ran away with it. Boom.
Very good.
Right.
Very good. Because like an Ethiopian, we are just starving for attention.
Well, I mean, or like an American 100-meter sprint runner, we kind of cheated and still won. What up?
Yes.
But yeah, so speaking of winning, let's talk about, the WWE Royal Rumble. Because somebody is going to be winning and going to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
In the male and female category, because there are 2 Rumble matches.
Count them. 2!
And as we know, there are...
Sweet!
By the way, how good was that Too Sweet moment on the Raw 25?
Fantastic. We can get to that after. Or we can get to it now if you want. I don't care. It's getting hot in here. I'm going to take off all my clothes.
Yeah. And please leave your socks on.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Because ankles just make you a whore.
True.
So anyway, last week we did promise everyone that we would talk about the Royal Rumble on the main roster and talk about how we think that's going to lead to WrestleMania.
Sure.
So, with that being said, the current card for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view is as
Cruiserweight. Oh, never mind.
Is as follows. We have the Usos defending the SmackDown Tag Team titles against Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin.
I'm excited for that match.
Me too, actually.
It's going to be good.
And I am actually going to go out and call new tag team champions Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable.
I'm going to also go out and call new tag team champions in Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin.
Because I actually believe at WrestleMania there's going to be a triple or four-way match for the tag titles, with the New Day also being there, and either Breezango, Rowan, and Harper, or Happy Rusev Day.
Happy Rusev Day.
Might even be a gauntlet match. That's kind of something where I would go, is maybe a gauntlet match in the pre-show for the SmackDown tag titles.
Fair enough.
That, or that's the opening match of the show.
Fair enough.
So yeah. I don't know. Where do you see the SmackDown tag titles going into WrestleMania?
Pre-show. They're going to be pre-show, unfortunately.
I do, yeah, I mean, and that's just the thing. I mean, I think...
Not that I want them to, but they will be.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just, I mean, I kind of feel bad because the Usos are, in my eyes, one of the top tag teams in WWE, and they get a lot of the pre-show treatment, which is just not cool.
No, not even a little.
So... Anyway, second match on the Royal Rumble card is, well, I mean, we might as well just say the tag team division.
Absolution! Oh, no. Never mind.
The Raw tag team titles.
Oh, yes. I guess Absolution! Oh.
Where you see Sheamus and Cesaro
Jabbar
going against Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan, your Raw tag team champions.
Da douche. I love how hated he is. It's great.
Right?
I think they're going to lose this because of him. I think there's going to be miscommunication. He's going to turn heel. If not here, at Mania.
Yeah,
going to happen this Mania season.
I really don't understand the whole direction of where this is going yet. Because I do see Jason Jordan turning heel at some point. Mm-hmm. I just don't think he's going to feud with Seth Rollins. Or, like, I just don't understand, like, where this would lead to, kind of. Like, because obviously, if Jason Jordan's going to turn, you'd think something has to be finished with Seth Rollins. Unless a match happens at the Fastlane before. I mean, I just think this is a step down for Seth Rollins if they do anything at Mania. And I just don't think anybody will care about Jason Jordan enough for it to be on the actual card.
You never know, though, because... Yeah, they could do the whole angle of...
Because what I would actually do with Jason Jordan, if he's actually going to turn heel and become really hated, I would just have him winning the Andre the Giant Memorial.
Battle Royal. Wow. Very good. Very good.
Because then I actually won't have a top talent kind of against him. Because I just don't think Jason Jordan is there.
Fair enough.
With that being said, I do think you're going to see one tag team regain their tag titles. I think this is the team. But I think they will end up losing their titles at, say, Fastlane, which is, I believe, the next...
So wait, you think that...
Well, unless it's the Elimination Chamber, which is the next one in February. But I think before Mania, at whatever shows between Rumble and Mania, they will lose it then, not at the Rumble.
Oh, fair enough.
And then... I don't know, I would like to see maybe Seth Rollins against The Miz at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title.
That'd be alright. I'd be okay with that.
Speaking of which, Miz, new Intercontinental Champion.
Yes.
Do we see possibly a rematch for the Intercontinental title at Royal Rumble against Roman Reigns?
Yeah. They might, well...
Or do we just see... Because The Miz already is an entrant in the Royal Rumble. Do we just see...
So I honestly,
do we just see Roman Reigns in the Rumble? And
yeah, I think it'll be like that. He'll eliminate The Miz, and then they'll end up having a rematch on like Raw or something like that later.
I wouldn't even be surprised if The Miz eliminates Roman Reigns. Because I don't think they're going to go with Roman Reigns this year at the Rumble.
Yeah, that's very possible.
Okay, well, moving on. We have the two tag team matches. We also have no women title matches.
No, because they're all basically everyone's in the battle.
Everyone but the
Rumble.
champions are in the Royal Rumble match. So this brings us to the SmackDown heavyweight title match between AJ Styles defending in a handicap match against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Cammy! Yeah. AJ Styles retains.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't believe it. Actually, I would actually really enjoy a tandem heavyweight champion, but I just don't think that's the direction they're going to go.
Yeah. I do think Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan, in some capacity, are going to get involved in this match.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and saying this is what it's going to lead to. We're going to see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn team up against Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania.
So you think they're actually going to clear Daniel Bryan to wrestle?
Yeah, in a tag match.
Well, very good.
That way, all the dumb stuff, Shane McMahon can do.
Well, it's going to have to be in a Hell in a Cell then, so he can jump off it again. He hasn't done that in a minute.
Right. But yeah, so that's... And then I think we get some closure on this whole angle. So
Fair enough.
and maybe it's for control of the SmackDown.
That'd be alright.
And then it can really become the Kevin and Sami show.
I like it.
Yeah, and then obviously for me, I'm gonna actually kind of show where I think AJ is gonna go later in our prediction.
Sure.
Yeah. So what are you thinking? I mean, you said AJ's like
AJ's going to retain. He's going to go to WrestleMania, and I bet you whoever wins the Royal Rumble, who I have a couple thoughts on, which we've talked about, which we will talk about it later, is going to face AJ Styles.
Yeah.
That's one thing that. The whole idea of Cammy facing off against McBrien, yeah, I mean, that's possible. I can't see them clearing Daniel Bryan. I really can't. So maybe it ends up being, Daniel Bryan's special guest referee, and it's Shane McMahon and somebody who's not being done. They're not doing it. He picks like a Randy Orton or someone like that who's not doing anything for WrestleMania. Maybe it's them. I don't know. I could see that. I could see it being Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens, and then Sami Zayn versus someone else. That's my thought of it.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to the Raw title, the Universal title.
This is going to be a good match.
Another title match that involves 3 participants.
Braun Strowman
against Kane, against Universal Champion Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar has been, and this is the first time in a long time, Brock Lesnar is making Braun Strowman look like a fucking monster.
Well,
we haven't seen Brock Lesnar bump this hard in a long time.
And here's something I think could very well happen. I think if you want to shock the world, Braun Strowman wins the Universal title.
Oh yeah.
However, what I actually do think is going to happen is that Brock Lesnar retains by pinning Kane.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think Kane is in this match, so the other 2 men don't take a loss.
I was thinking the same thing, but slightly different. So wherever Braun ends up pinning Kane, it's Brock versus Braun at Mania.
The only thing I have about that is what then would you do with Roman Reigns?
I don't give a fuck. Him versus Jason Jordan. Loser has to die. I don't give a fuck.
I still believe that you're going to see Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. My theory now moving forward is we might not see a one-on-one match.
Okay.
We might see a triple threat
with Braun
match
in there as well,
with Braun Strowman.
What I can see then, if that's the case, is Braun beats the shit out of Brock on the outside, and just destroys him, leaves him out there. Then Kane and Braun do a little bit. Braun destroys Kane, and right before he goes for the pin, Brock just basically throws him out of the ring, gets a quick pin, survives the match as the champion. Just like he did against Samoa Joe, making him look like a monster, but still winning. That pisses him off more, and then Roman Reigns gets his rematch for the Intercontinental title, gets screwed over, whatever the case is. decides to go for the Universal title, and then it's back to Braun versus Roman. They go do the thing, and then you can either have a triple threat or you can have one of them go over clean, whatever the case is.
Yeah, my thing right now is I can see Braun Strowman becoming the top babyface of Monday Night Raw.
Oh, yeah, I think he already is.
And I think he may have overtaken Roman Reigns as the guy on Raw. However, I don't think in the company's eye they're ready to say anybody's passed over Roman yet.
Yeah.
However, I do think you have to be blind and deaf
And dumb.
to not understand that Braun Strowman is right there in the mix with everyone else.
You basically have to be a pinball wizard.
And I don't know, you're not going to put all these... you're not going to have Braun Strowman almost being the guy who can at will kill anybody on the roster like he did with Kane and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
You're not going to have Brock Lesnar put over a guy like that as much as he's been doing lately unless you have big plans for him.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't see... Unless...
Maybe, what if they do this?
Unless you're doing something where maybe Triple H and Braun Strowman have something in play, because we did see that tease at Survivor Series,
Yes.
then I can understand Braun Strowman not being a part of it, but...
What if this? What if Braun wins at Rumble, and then Roman does his whole heading off thing saying, Brock's a part-time guy, why does he get a rematch? Well, whatever the case is. At the pay-per-view in between, they do Brock versus Roman, #1 contendership. And then Brock beats Roman then Brock versus Braun at WrestleMania.
Well, and I kind of see the same possibility, but with Brock retaining at Rumble, and then we see a #1 contender match between Roman and Braun.
Okay.
And then the winner there. And I think...
Yeah, because Triple H isn't doing a hell of a lot coming up so far that we know of.
Well,
so
and then maybe you have Triple H screw Braun out of that match, and then you
Triple H versus Braun.
Yeah.
Braun hasn't won the Onto the Giant, has he?
No, and I don't think they'll put him in that match this year.
No, I was saying they had nothing else. They could do that, and he could win that.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone who's won that's gone off to a zooming career, though, so far.
Yeah. And that brings us to the women's 30-woman Royal Rumble. And for every guy out there, that's 60 boobs.
So happy! Oh, God. Puppies!
There's more puppies in this match
It's a puppy mill.
than, the Edmonton SPCA.
True. They only have 52.
So, as of right now, 18 names have been confirmed.
Basically both rosters.
Gonna try to actually nail this down. So on Raw, we have Asuka,
Yes.
Dana Brooke,
Yes.
Alicia Fox.
Yes.
We have Mandy Rose.
Yes.
We have Sonya Deville.
Yes.
We have
Paige is not on that picture anymore.
No, Paige is not cleared to wrestle, so she has been taken off. So far I have 5. You have Mickie James at 6. You have Sasha Banks at 7.
Bailey at
8.
Nia Jackson 9.
And Nia Jackson 9. I believe those are your 9 women from Raw. Because I believe there's 9 from each. And then on SmackDown, we have Carmella, Natalya, Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan. Then you have Naomi, which is 7. And then who am I missing? I know that there's 2 more.
Lana?
Yeah, Lana's in there.
What about Tamina?
And Tamina, yes, thank you. So yeah, boom. So those are your 18.
Yeah.
And then from a rumor I heard earlier, 9 women from NXT could possibly be in, which then brings you to 27, and there's possibly 3 names that aren't NXT bound that could be there. Now, I think we both can agree that Ronda Rousey is probably one of those people that are going to be a surprise
Being
entrant.
that she officially signed a couple days ago to a developmental contract.
Another name I'm going to throw out that could be a surprise entrant.
Yes.
She's been announced to be on the announcing team for the Royal Rumble. But
Michael Cole!
don't
Oh.
be surprised to see Stephanie McMahon.
That was the 1 year when JBL,
Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler
all got up and went in?
No, maybe not Michael Cole, Booker T, I believe.
But anyways, whoever announced it, they were all in. That's
Yeah.
it. Baby.
But another one that I wouldn't be surprised to see is, say, maybe a Molly Holly could be a surprise entrant.
You can see one or both the Bellas.
You could see Beth Phoenix,
Beth
possibly.
Phoenix, yeah. Well, let's go to Raw 25 real quick.
And the one lady who's not at Raw 25, she's working there. Possibly Lita could be making her. Right?
Lita works for WWE?
Well, she does the panels.
Oh, right. Occasionally, yeah. Good for her.
And then occasionally the talent.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, I mean, how do you think Matt Hardy became a Woken?
Finger in the butt. And then he delete the relationship.
Yeah. Deleta. Yeah.
There it is.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that. But let's go back to Raw 25 real quick. I mean, just to see. There's the Bellas on stage.
Yep.
Kelly.
Yep.
I mean, I hope not, because she was nothing but an eye candy, really. She was terrible.
Which, by the way, the Bella twins officially are now twins again because Brie Bella has boobs.
Mother boobs.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan's a motherfucker. Who else? Do you think Jacqueline, maybe?
Jacqueline? She doesn't look that bad.
No.
She looks
huge. Ta-ta.
Terry Reynolds.
Could be.
Don't see it, but Trish Stratus.
Trish Stratus,
possibly.
yeah, possible.
What about like an Ivory?
What about Michelle McCool?
Yeah. Layla. I mean, what about
I will say this.
a Lay Cool Team Iconic moment at the Rumble?
That would be cool.
Right.
That would be Lay Cool.
That'd be an iconic, cool moment.
I will say this. I've seen on Instagram and Twitter and other things like that, Caitlyn has been training wrestling again. And she has a couple shows
She's
booked.
finally learning how to wrestle?
I know.
Wow.
So there's a possibility she could come back.
Yeah. We both know that Maria Kanellis and Maurice will not be in there because they're pregnant.
They could be. They're both having girls. They could be in a women's tag match against each other. No? No? Okay.
Well, I mean, if they're anything like Paige's mom, they'll still wrestle with a kid in the womb.
That explains so very, very much.
Right? But I want to just go down to the NXT. I mean, there's possible names that could be in there. Ones like Ember Moon, Shayna Baszler could be in it.
Kairi Sane,
Nikki Cross, both Peyton Royce, Billie Kay. You could have Aaliyah. You could have Bianca Belair, Tanara Conti.
Who?
Tanara Conti, yeah?
What's this about her being cunty?
Mm-hmm. Conti.
Cunty, gotcha. Who else? You got that,
Vanessa Bourne.
Vanessa Bourne, yep.
Even maybe possibly a Zelina Vega.
Yeah.
So there's many women in the NXT realm that, I mean, and then you also have newly signed Candice LeRae.
I would imagine she'd be in it. Not because she's going right to the main roster, but just because, I mean, why not?
I also now have, after hearing the signing, because this was technically after our last podcast.
Yes.
My new kind of prediction for this match is that you have Andrade Cien Almas with Selena Vega going up against Johnny Gargano,
And he brings out
Candice LeRae,
his wife.
yeah, to even the odds. But
And
then
then
Tommaso Ciampa still finds a way to.
Tommaso Ciampa grabs her from behind, rapes her in front of everyone. Hashtag her too.
Actually, no, what would be a very surprising thing? Have Tommaso Ciampa cost Johnny Gargano and then walk out with Candice LeRae as his new manager.
Hashtag marriage struggles.
Now that would be a shock.
That would be a shocker.
Yeah.
I'm holding my hands up as a shocker.
No, that's V1B.
No, that's Backbreaker Spread. If they're together, that's a shocker.
That's broken V1.
The broken one? Speaking of which, I know Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt at Mania. Do you think it's going to happen? They did it on the Raw 25.
Yeah, that kind of spoiled it for me.
They need more time though, because that was way too fast. They tried to.
That's why it spoiled it for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they could do way more.
I don't understand a lot of what they did on that show, and I thought a lot of it was just rushed.
Fair enough. Oh, also, Bobby Roode, new U.S. champ. Congrats to him.
Yeah.
Does he defend it at Royal Rumble?
I don't think so. I think he honestly should be in the Royal Rumble match.
Oh, I'm not saying he shouldn't. I mean, there's many years where people who are not in the main event picture for the heavyweight titles are usually in the Rumble anyways.
Well, I crunched all the earlier. I crunched like the names on the main roster. There's like at least.
Who are you, Dana Brooke, crunching the numbers?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mine are actually accurate.
Very good.
Because as we noticed on Raw 25. Well, I mean,
fair enough.
I do have pants on. I mean, come on.
True.
I mean, we don't know that answer yet. However, well, I'm just gonna say if she crunched the numbers, really well, don't you think somebody in Title Worldwide would have won the poker game? Just saying.
You'd think so.
Just saying. But there's like at least 50, 60 people on the roster for the males.
Both sides, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously there's going to be a lot of people. I don't know if the people in the matches before the Rumble will necessarily be in the Rumble. I mean, I can see a lot of tag teams not being in there. But I don't know.
Well, no, that New Day officially all three of them entered.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think for the obviously now we're at the men's Royal Rumble.
On side note, New Day and Triple H.
Which, by the way, who's going to win the women's Royal Rumble? We never actually went.
Asuka.
Yeah.
Yeah, Asuka. Yeah. Asuka wins. She goes on to face Alexa at WrestleMania. Wins there.
I say if it's a Raw competitor, it's Asuka. If it's not a Raw superstar, I say it's Ronda Rousey, and you get Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte.
Okay.
Because they're making it sound like the winner is going to pick their brand's champion.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey isn't on a brand.
That'd be good.
So she can pick whatever one she wants.
Yeah, that would be good. I like it. Also, side note, New Day, Triple H, Steph were on Jimmy Fallon, and then he was at Raw 25, which that was a throwaway scene, but whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways, them on Fallon was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing I wanted to ask you about the whole Reigns thing, he apparently has been accused of steroid use, convicted by felon Robert Rodriguez. No, not that one. Not the director, the other one.
Well, apparently another name associated in there, it was Mark Wahlberg. There's many celebrity names in there.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns being one, Mark Wahlberg I know as a second.
So, but does that affect him going to Mania in that way they actually go with Braun versus Brock?
You know what? Part of me is thinking, how old is this? Because he was suspended about a year or so ago.
Yep.
For an unknown substance. Perhaps that was the unknown substance.
It's possible, I guess, yeah.
This very well, I think, could be something from the past that now is just being leaked out again, and maybe it's because it's one of the top guys in WWE, it's a thing, but I don't know. I mean, you can take him dropping the Intercontinental title one or two ways. One, are they actually pushing The Miz? Or two, was this a punishment for Roman Reigns?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
The other thing I meant to mention earlier is Jey Uso arrested for DUI. That's partly why I think they're gonna drop the titles. Because anytime something like this happens, if they're title holders, they always drop them immediately.
Yeah, not a good day for the Samoan wrestling family.
No, they being dumb again.
Yeah.
They being dumb.
So, yeah. But yeah, anyway, Men Royal Rumble. 17 names have been confirmed.
Tag struggle, still waiting for our confirmation.
Right. You know, I'll even go number one.
Hell, I'll go number two. We can just sit there and wait.
So,
play a little game of hopscotch. Yeah.
Right.
Some jacks. We can play Naya. Oh, we could play Naya. Oh!
We'll just bring some beers and crush them.
Yeah, with some Steve Weisers.
Right.
Which, by the way, that was fun to see.
Yeah. So 17 names have been confirmed. That means Samoa Joe has been taken out of the Rumble as of page. He's not medically cleared to wrestle.
What happened to him?
Injured his foot, I believe.
Oh. He doesn't have much luck with that, eh?
No. Which is weird because in the Indies he was never hurt, and then now he's a Band-Aid.
Yeah, apparently.
So I believe I'm trying to go in order. I'm not gonna nail it in order, but we got Elias, we have John Cena,
Yep.
we have Finn Balor,
Randy Orton.
we have Randy Orton, we have Shinsuke Nakamura, we have
The New Day, all 3.
Yep. So that is 8. We have The Miz, which is 9. We have Aiden English, which is 10. Rusev at 11. I want to say we have Matt Hardy at 12.
Ty Dillinger.
Ty Dillinger at 13. Bray Wyatt at 14.
Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin at, was that 16?
15.
15.
2 more.
Yeah, 2 more. I want to say they're on the Raw end, too. Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews.
There's 17.
So they're set. There are 17. So bam, without even looking at our cellular mobile devices, we just nailed them.
Right in the bone.
But then again, we did this on the expansion draft too. So boom.
Yeah, we're a little bit wrong.
Clearly, we're intelligent human beings.
Oh yeah.
So that leaves 13 spaces. Now, are we going to see an issue where Braun Strowman doesn't win the title, beats up somebody and takes their spot like Eric Rowan did a couple of years ago? When he lost, remember when they had the match where he got fired because he stood up against the Authority? They got his job back, lost his qualification match against Luke Harper, and then beat up. I want to say it was like Zack Ryder or somebody stupid.
Which, by the way, Zack Ryder hasn't been announced yet. I'm sure he'll be in it. That's a job.
Mojo Rawley is. No, I don't think he's in it yet.
I don't know. Maybe if not unofficially, I don't know. Point is, yeah, he could definitely beat up one of them and take a spot.
So yeah, there's 13 names, and now so we can think of many more than just 13 names.
Yeah.
I mean, think about a Royal Rumble without Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. Because Roman Reigns is not in the Royal Rumble match as of right now.
As of right now.
So you'd have to think he's in it. So that would bring it up to 18. I mean, it's weird to think Seth Rollins might not be in the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, that would be strange. Yeah, honestly, it'd be weird to think Cesaro and Sheamus.
Yeah. So.
And you know what? You could easily do it where they lose the titles. Seth and Jason Jordan lose the titles. They go into the Rumble, and Jordan eliminates Seth and starts a thing there. And they can go a whole new direction with a whole new tag team because those two are feuding now.
Yeah.
Not that I necessarily want it, but it could be the way it's done.
And then we also have like Finn Balor, but not Gallows or Anderson. We have The Miz, but not Curtis Axel or Bo Dallas.
Mini Taker.
Yeah, and then that's also another one. The Undertaker. Is he going to be in the Royal Rumble match?
Which, again, side note, Raw 25. What the hell was that promo about? Did he officially retire? Did he tell everyone in that building to die?
See, I
don't know what the hell was said.
Everyone's saying like how confusing and like they're just not sure of what happened. And the final thing is like for all of those the people before it, may they'll rest in peace. What if that one last line was saying for all of those that were part of the first 25 years that aren't with us anymore? Maybe he's just giving an ode to everyone who is instrumental to Raw's first 25 years who have passed away.
And you know what?
Has anybody thought of that?
I don't think so. That would actually make a lot of sense.
Because he is the man of the dead. What happens if that was just for him saying thank you for the fallen soldiers of the first 25 years?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just saying. Just because, Paul Bearer was instrumental for The Undertaker, no longer with us.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be one of them. Owen Hart, another one.
Randy Savage.
Chris Benoit.
Hulk Hogan.
And he's not allowed to talk about Chris Benoit.
No.
Hulk Hogan is not dead.
Oh, he is the WWE.
Not necessarily. But yeah, like Big Boss Man was instrumental. Brian Pillman.
David Boy Smith.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Yokozuna?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just wondering if maybe that was more of an indication of saying thank you to the people who have moved on from the world.
That's very possible, and that actually would make a lot more sense.
So, maybe that just had nothing to do with his career and more of a... Yeah. So, I don't know, but I mean, again, like, does Undertaker come in this? Because I still want to say Undertaker against John Cena is going to be
There
a
have
WrestleMania.
been a lot of rumors about Undertaker versus Cena. There have been posters, I don't know if they're fan-made or not. There have been a lot of stuff, apparently from backstage, of people hinting at it.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be fantastic. They face each other and both retire. Go to a draw or something.
Well, I mean, to me, I have no problem with passing the torch match, but I always thought Undertaker and Cena should have happened before we saw Cena Roman Reigns.
Well,
Because then you would have saw Undertaker pass the torch to John Cena then to Roman Reigns, and I'd be completely okay with that.
yeah.
However, maybe Undertaker just wants to have the final match against someone, maybe he truly respects. I'm not saying he doesn't respect Roman Reigns,
But no one respects Roman Reigns.
but I mean, in all honesty, how can you not respect a guy like John Cena for everything he has done, not just for the company, but, I mean, for a lot of the talent as well.
Very true.
I mean, it could be one of those where you go from one guy who's considered to be the most respected guy in the business, probably ever,
Yep.
to maybe a close second.
What happens if maybe, just very hypothetical, during the match, it starts doing the countdown. It gets 10, but it gets, like, say, 7, 6, or 5. Lights go out, his gong hits. So it's before the actual, the next person's supposed to come out. Lights go out, lights come back up. He's in the ring, tosses John Cena over. Lights go out, lights come back on. He's gone.
Well, you're seeing a lot of John Cena Elias stuff on Monday Night Raw lately. I wouldn't be surprised to see if you are going to do a John Cena Undertaker match, that John Cena's in the ring. Maybe he's cleaning house. All of a sudden you hear the gong, the lights go out. Everybody goes nuts. Lights come back on. There's no one there. John Cena's like, what's going on? Elias tosses them out.
That would work too. That actually worked better.
Then you can still play off that. It does a lot for Elias, but then you have your setup.
Yep.
I don't know. But then also another thing I was thinking, possibility of having one or two guys from the UK division in the Royal Rumble, such as Tyler Bate, but more prominent, the UK champion Pete Dunne.
And then also have Trent Seven, have all of Mustache Mountain there. British Strong Style, have them all there.
I mean, I don't know. I would just say for the first year, first Royal Rumble, you have a UK title.
Yeah, you could do that.
Unless, was it there last year?
I don't think so. Tyler Bate had it last year.
No, but at the Rumble.
I don't think so. No. I think it was only basically prominently shown on NXT matches. Or
Right.
NXT shows.
But yeah, so maybe it's something that we actually see this year. A UK champion actually in the Royal Rumble.
That'd be alright.
Maybe that's the benefit of being a UK champion, that by the Royal Rumble you get a spot in there.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think we see any cruiserweights in there just because of this situation.
Yep. Enzo, you ruined it for everyone. You're a dick.
But, and that's exactly what maybe they could do on 205 Live. Have, say, a 20-man over-the-top Pro Rumble style for the cruiserweights at 205
That's
Live.
the entire episode. There.
Yeah. There you go.
I like it.
So yeah, I don't know who is your take to win the Royal Rumble, and how does this lead into the WrestleMania?
I've heard a lot of rumors. I don't know if I fully believe it. I've heard a lot about Shinsuke Nakamura winning, facing AJ Styles at Mania.
Yeah,
That's what I've heard. I wouldn't be against it,
that's exactly what I'm going with.
but honestly, since debuting on the main roster, I just have not fully cared about Shinsuke Nakamura. He's not done anything to impress me.
Well, and that's exactly why I think I'm more sold on this than ever before. When we've seen past winners, like last year, what was Randy Orton really doing going into the Royal Rumble?
Being a lackey for what's his face?
Yeah, very but you weren't taking him seriously going into the Rumble.
Yeah, not really.
Just like Shinsuke is right now.
I guess that's true.
Alberto Del Rio, when he won the 40-man Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
he was not considered a threat going into there. He was considered a name, one of the bigger names, but
really,
not a threat.
Before that, it was 2011. He really didn't do anything yet.
Exactly. So maybe this is the way for WWE to use this as a catapult and make it look like the Royal Rumble is a true catapult to someone's career.
Well, it should be.
And then they're getting the rub way.
Plus, it'd be the first time in a while someone new, because, I mean, before that, it's been
Triple H.
Orton, Triple H, Cena, Batista, which all won them before.
And again, with Triple H, he was not used as really a wrestler at the time, but more as, well, hey, he was a shock in the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
But B, I mean, he wasn't exactly getting very physical at the time.
Yeah.
He was getting more power-stricken. So him winning the Rumble and becoming champion at that year's Mania was definitely out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So lately, the winners of the Rumble aren't exactly the top guys.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys are usually the guys who go to the end, but not necessarily win. So yeah, maybe we see like this propel someone. So by the time Mania comes in, they are a bona fide superstar, and they are a big time draw.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them do that. I could also see if, for whatever reason, Braun doesn't win the WWE Universal title, I could see him either getting a final spot or taking someone's spot and just winning it, forcing a win so he faces Brock again. I can see it.
And like maybe like Heath Slater thinks he's going to the Royal Rumble, and then Braun Strowman just beats him up, or Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah.
I think two perfect candidates for that position.
Yeah.
And then he just takes their number, and then
I like it.
But if I'm going to go with a SmackDown superstar, it is Shinsuke Nakamura. If I am going to go with a Raw superstar, if he's in it, Braun Strowman. If not, I'm going to go with Finn Balor.
That'd be all right. Because, I mean, he had his big moment, then he gets hurt, he's come back. He's been in stuff, but what has he really done lately?
But honestly, I think whoever wins the Royal Rumble, unless it's Braun Strowman, you might see them face AJ Styles. And this even includes Finn Balor, because they have not said if a Raw superstar wins it, they have to face the Raw champion.
That is true.
So,
very true.
I can definitely see a possibility where we see Finn Balor, AJ Styles in a match where now you're seeing which side is Gallows and Anderson side with. And to me, that's a very interesting concept.
I do. I like that. It's good.
But yeah, no, my pick is Shinsuke Nakamura, because I do think that this is the match. AJ has probably fought very long to have.
Yeah. A surprise entrant in this match who I don't think would ever be picked to win, but just to show up from NXT, that would make me cream my loins.
Adam Cole, baby.
100%. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Also, another one that I think would make a lot of sense, and even if he didn't win, it wouldn't hurt him, is I think Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Because I think Aleister Black, Matt Hardy, or a Bray Wyatt situation would be very exciting.
That would be.
Unless you have an all three.
Yep. And also another one, just because I like the guy, Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
If he just showed up and got eliminated a few minutes later, I'd be okay with that. I think it'd be awesome.
I think a huge possibility for a surprise that we could see, that not a lot of people think is going to be a thing because of his scheduling conflicts that could happen. But this guy is very well known for screwing with everyone. Chris Jericho, I think very well.
Yep.
I mean, you heard a lot of people say he wasn't going to be at Raw 25.
And then he was there.
And then he was there.
That was fun. I actually enjoyed that.
And he actually rocked the Alpha Club shirt.
Which was fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
So, him and Elias, good stuff.
Yeah. You know what? He's put guys over before.
Yeah.
He could go to Mania against Elias and put him over there.
Yep.
Wow.
So, I don't know. I mean, kind of going off our predictions on our WrestleMania card. I mean, I can see Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. I think if I had to pinpoint a singles match that I think is going to be at WrestleMania, that is your main event for the Universal title. Shinsuke Nakamura against AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. Then you have Asuka versus Alexa Bliss for the women's title for Raw. I wouldn't be surprised if you have Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey at some capacity.
I think that'd almost be a bit of a slap in the face if they have Ronda Rousey who's never really wrestled before coming to win, but that's just me.
Yeah, but at the same time, if she brings more eyes on the division and allows women to main event.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's not saying that I think the women are going to main event WrestleMania, but man, having a name like Ronda Rousey helps your case.
Yeah.
And that's a draw. And that to me I think is a bigger draw worldwide than a lot of the names they already have.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think the 4 horsewomen of wrestling and MMA, that's an interesting concept I still want to see.
No, that's true.
I still want to see Ronda Rousey in some capacity go against Stephanie McMahon.
Did it tease that a few years ago?
Yeah. And I'm going to propose this idea. Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, up against Ronda Rousey
And The Rock.
Braun Strowman.
Even better.
Yeah.
I like it.
We saw the tease between Triple H and Braun Strowman. Obviously, there's history between Stephanie and Ronda.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. It's on the Raw. I think Ronda Rousey being on Raw is big for ratings. And
if she goes to Raw.
And then I would put Becky Lynch against Charlotte for the women's title.
That'd be good.
So,
that would be good.
For the Raw tag team titles, triple threat ladder match between Gallows and Anderson, Revival, and The Bar.
That'd be fantastic. I like it. So somewhat like last year's minus the Hardys return.
Yeah, but just like a TLC. Just try to bring that back. Or you have an old-fashioned match. Wrestling match between the 3. Either way, it works for me. You have a U.S. title match, maybe between Bobby Roode, and maybe, I would say, either a Rusev, Ziggler, maybe one of them.
Are we still thinking that Ziggler comes back at Rumble?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Dolph Ziggler comes back to screw Bobby Roode in the Rumble.
What if he comes back and wins the Rumble?
I just don't think they put Ziggler over like that.
Yeah, you never know.
No, I just assume that they already have their plan for the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania well in advance, and I don't think Dolph Ziggler at this time last year was in their eyes for being a WrestleMania main event guy. I think they probably look at Drew McIntyre more as a main event guy.
Yeah.
So I think those are our predictions.
Yes. Now, do we want to touch on Raw 25 at all?
What are your... Okay, we'll talk about what we can take away and what we enjoyed.
I know Mrs. Meniac was furious with it because as a go-home show to one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, it did not do a good job. I enjoyed it for the nostalgia factor and a lot of stuff.
I think that's what I take out of it, is the fact that I didn't treat it like a Raw, like a go-home edition. No. I did take the... when you have matches at the event, I thought, there was ample final build between the triple threat match for the title. I thought there is ample with Asuka turning on her team and throwing them over the top rope. I liked, so I thought that helped build towards the importance of every woman for herself for the Royal Rumble, and it was actually kind of nice to see women being thrown over the top rope as
opposed to between.
Yeah, which what we've seen lately. So now it's being more of a prominent feature that it's over the top rope, which I like. Also, I don't know, you got the build between the Bar and Sheamus, or with Sheamus and Cesaro against Jordan and Rollins. So I really didn't see too. I just don't know what more you needed to add to those.
No.
To be honest, and there was a lot of nostalgic factor. I thought maybe you could look at this and just have fun with it, opposed to taking it seriously.
I thoroughly enjoyed the whole DX thing. I enjoyed Seeing Austin come back and stunner the McMahons again, that was fun.
The one thing I will say, my takeaway that I did not like was the rushed match between Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I also think that match was better suited if you're going to do it at Barclays, not Manhattan.
Yeah.
And you can do the whole Dudley Boy gimmick stuff at the Manhattan instead. I don't know. It was just a matter of... I don't know. I didn't enjoy the Revival Balor Club DX kind of stuff.
It's also interesting they're being introduced as the Balor Club now.
Yep.
That's interesting.
So...
Overall, I liked it. I know a lot of people hated it, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think my favorite moment of the whole thing was probably Jericho and Elias.
Yeah, that was hilarious. It was unexpected, funny.
Yeah. Hey, can you use your guitar? No.
That's okay. I
Fine.
got my own.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And like, why would you ask to use another man guitar if you already had your own? Like, it's just so stupid. But it's funny.
Also, I forgot to mention this last week. Actually, no, I don't think I did because we hadn't seen Raw. But 2 weeks ago, there's not this past one, but the one before, Seth Rollins used the curb stomp.
Yep. Calling it the blackout, which I very much like. It's what he used to call it in NXT.
Yeah, a little ode to his old name. And the fact that he's doing it again, apparently he's doing it on house shows.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. And it looked vicious as hell.
I thought, too, it made it feel like there's so many like ways I can go about talking this, because one, it's like he saw the right time to take advantage of the situation. He did it against Finn Balor, a guy who, in history, he's taken out before. All of a sudden, it's like, you don't use this move. Why are you using it all of a sudden on Finn Balor? Maybe there's more to it. I don't know. To me, still would love to see Finn Balor do that complete heel turn.
Yeah.
And then seeing a heel Balor going against a babyface Seth Rollins, maybe at WrestleMania.
That'd be sweet.
That might be too sweet.
That might be a little bit of all right. A little too sweet.
That might be a match, though, when you consider the house. You might be able to burn it down because of how much that'll be on fire.
They'll tear the roof off. Burn this bitch to the ground.
Yeah. So, yeah. I also like the fact they're getting rid of the name Curb Stomp. That just brings out a whole different can of worms in this era that you just don't need. So, yeah. Calling it the Blackout. Yeah, like you said, ode to his old name. He was Tyler Black in the Indies, so
I think
I like that.
Isn't that his shoot name?
No.
No? Okay.
His shoot name's Colby Lopez.
Lopez?
Lopez.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Exactly.
He does not look like a Lopez.
Right? I know his brother's not Mario.
Very good. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier. We were talking about the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green has officially granted her release from Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, I honestly don't think she will be in time for it.
No, I'm not saying, but I'm saying maybe see her NXT in the future.
Oh, 100%.
But that was something that a bunch of them are asking for their release and stuff now. So, do we see maybe someone with one of the surprise entrants, maybe an EC3 or a Bobby Lashley?
Well, and that's been something also in the news of that. Apparently, EC3, formerly known as Derek Bateman, has been spotted at the Performance Center. Spotted.
Spotted
And also, anybody who has kind of there is like a new kind of he is allowed to use Ethan Carter III in WWE as only if WWE allows it.
Yeah.
So that is now, I believe, logistics of it is that TNA will allow you to own your name,
basically
use
buy your
it
name
elsewhere.
Yeah.
However, it is up to WWE to.
Yeah. Honestly, EC3.
They don't have to use it, but
EC3 or Ethan Carter III is way better name than Derek Bateman.
Yeah.
Way better.
And this is exactly what I would do. We've seen Dixie Carter before in working with WWE with the Kurt Angle DVD and series. Yeah. The countdown comes down. All of a sudden, spotlight, no music. Out comes Dixie Carter to introduce Ethan Carter III.
My nephew.
Yeah.
That'd be beautiful.
That'd be so great. And maybe his first thing is to, I don't know, go after a big name. Maybe it's a Roman Reigns, John Cena, somebody like that.
Yeah.
That'd be a good way to make a splash.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's Bobby Roode.
That would be great.
And then you have your United States title match. But yeah, I mean, could be another great thing. I mean, WWE is known to have a few surprises. I don't think they necessarily go nostalgic on the men's Royal Rumble. I think they might go a couple nostalgic on the women's.
Oh, it's like they did it years ago where they had guys like,
Diesel
come back.
Godfather,
stuff like that. Every once in a while they'll do that, but I think their roster's so stacked now they don't have to.
Yeah. Especially with NXT. I think they'd rather give somebody in NXT a spot, like they did last year with Ty Dillinger, over a nostalgic thing. And who knows? This could be a good time for returns. You never know who you might see.
Exactly.
So, I'm excited for it, for sure.
Oh, I'm stoked. This is my favorite pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah, one of my favorites. And they announced next year for the 2019.
Phoenix.
Yeah, but it's in a baseball stadium. For the first time ever, the Royal Rumble will be in a baseball stadium.
Interesting. So it's like the base brawls that they do for TNA for the longest time.
The same arena or the same stadium where you can watch the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Hopefully it's not raining.
Especially in the Roman capacity. Boom, boom. But yeah, so that should be very interesting.
Yes.
Great weekend of wrestling. So if you're really happy that Alberta, in the Edmonton area, more specifically, is bringing back the wrestling, then you're excited for this week when you get to watch NXT TakeOver Philadelphia on Saturday night, the Royal Rumble on Sunday night.
Also, if you
It's
want,
WrestleMania season, people.
And there's also the NHL All-Star Weekend that I don't know.
There's also the Pro Bowl.
And the Pro Bowl.
But
there's
who
a lot
the
going
fuck
on.
cares?
There's a lot going on.
I know I'm watching wrestling all
I'll be
day.
watching wrestling.
Yeah.
It's going to take precedent over everything else.
Right. So.
A couple of short things before we head out here.
Yeah, we still got sponsors and where we are.
Conor McGregor is stripped of his one title, likely to be stripped of the second one. So we'll keep an eye on that as it goes. But
I honestly,
not surprising.
I actually fully support the notion that if you do not defend your title within a year,
get rid
and you're not hurt,
you're basically being difficult like Conor McGregor because he wants more money. Honestly, UFC has to sack up and just strip him.
And
they have to look at life potentially without Conor McGregor because he's being a difficult
And
little
here's
prick.
an idea. If he really hates it that much and wants to fight, boom, okay, give him the next shot. I completely understand that. But, I mean, if he doesn't want to man up and defend it, then
exactly,
you got to, step up and rip it away from him.
Yep.
I agree.
Also, congratulations to Stipe Miocic, or however you say his name.
Stipe Miocic?
Yeah. As being possibly one of the greatest, if not the greatest, heavyweight champion of all time for UFC.
Finally, somebody Cleveland can call a winner. Because the Cavs suck again.
Well, I guess they got that and the Miz, but...
Well, the Browns...
The Browns are the Browns.
Browns couldn't win at all.
The Browns, well, the names speak for itself. They're shit.
Yeah. So.
Also, Test of Virtue, Scott Moyer, to be Canada's opening ceremony's flag bearers. I think it's the first ever tandem flag bearers. So, congratulations to them.
I don't know if it's the first tandem.
I don't know. It's the first ones I know of, but I don't really pay attention to them.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I saw this, just this little screenshot of the two. Chick's hot.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. You know what? They actually, I wouldn't say they're shoo-ins for the figure skating for us to get gold, but they're good. They're really good.
I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say that if the men's Olympic hockey team does win, that Wojciech Wolski should be the flag bearer at the end.
Closing tournament? Absolutely.
100%. Given his story of a year ago when he was a year prior before being named, he had a broken neck, and then coming back, being on the team, possibly winning gold, I think that's just, win or lose, he should have it.
Yep.
That's just a great story.
Yep. So, let's see here. Advertising. We got some adverts here.
We got some ads. Ads. We got ads.
The first one, Backbreaker Media, now on Spotify. Congratulations, we are now on Spotify, so you can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, and fuck YouTube.
Fuck YouTube!
Yes. Also, if you're more of a visual person of the visual persuasion.
Yeah, if you can see me.
Yes, exactly, because you can't see me.
Not on the podcast, because it's audio, you morons.
Yes. BackbreakerVOD.pivotshare.com. Sign up. You get a couple free weeks there, and if you use the keyword tag struggle, I think you get like the first 3 months at like half off or something like that.
Yeah, and if you don't, just bitch at Mike the ref, and then see what happens.
Exactly.
I mean, we do it all the time.
It's kind of our thing. It's
Yeah.
it's like an Olympic sport to us. We'd be gold for sure.
Yeah.
Also, whatamaneuver.net. Go to Backbreaker Media page on whatamaneuver.net. You can get OG The Struggle and vintage One World Empire t-shirts, hoodies, baby onesies. Still working on the condoms and ice cream.
Yeah.
Well, it's more, whatever, but diaper rash cream. But point is, they're coming. As will you be if you wear the condom.
It's a little bit of all right.
It's a little bit of all right.
In your underpants.
That's struggle-licious.
Well, that's what she said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bob, where are you going to be coming up?
Well, February 3rd, I'm going to be at the Alberta Half Community Hall.
Wrestling's back in Edmonton, fuckers!
Defending my provincial title against one dud, Dean Richter.
The dud, Dean Raucous Richter,
Which
raunchy.
I'm being told is going to be the semi-main event of the evening, brother.
Oh, look at you going on second last, brother.
Yeah, maybe we'll go on so long that the main event doesn't even happen, brother.
That would be sweet. That'd be a little bit of all right.
Just saying.
So anything else?
Also, February 10th, I'll be at CWC.
Big news.
Which I will be revealing my lawsuit, people!
People going to jail.
And then I believe it is February 17th, Pure Power Wrestling, Lethbridge, Alberta. The Power Rumble is coming back. A 15-man Royal Rumble matchup.
Word.
Where Chris Parrish is, asking management, let me be number one, baby. Because that's just what I do. Going for year 2 in a row, winning the Power Rumble.
Year 2, number 1 or 2, winning it all.
Oh, no, I want 1.
2
I want 1.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want number 1.
Very good.
Yep.
Very, very good.
Now, where will you be?
I haven't decided yet. I know I'm going to go with you on February 10th. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'll be down there for the CWC unveiling of their lawsuit. That's going to be a little bit of all right.
Sure.
I'm also probably going to be in the area for February 3rd. I don't know. Might just go to ringside with you. I might be your valet. I might dress up in a dress. I haven't decided yet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I need to go dress shopping now.
You and me both.
Awesome. So that's where we will be.
Yes, and next week.
Also, if you want to meet up with any of the MPW wrestlers, please go to the Match Eatery Restaurant in Rogers Place this Sunday for the Royal Rumble. And enjoy some drinks, some treats, and some wrestling.
And if you spend about $15 and you ask your server, apparently they have some tickets.
Yeah.
For our show on the 3rd.
Yeah.
Very good.
So, yeah. If you want to get some tickets to the show, go to Rogers Place and watch the Royal Rumble with everyone at MPW. And, yeah. Get your stuff then. So, yeah. That's it.
Next week, we do Cruiserweight title for Let's Book. Talk about, second time we'll be talking about the Bell Let's Talk.
Yeah, and
Like
then we'll also give our thoughts and about NXT TakeOver Philly and the Royal Rumble.
Exactly.
So, yeah. That'll be episode 60. We are finishing up episode 59. I'm Chris Parrish.
I am finally wrestling again in Edmonton Meniac.
Yeah. And we are Tag Struggle.
We are real.
And we are
Spectacular.
Yeah! That is lifted. Later, bitches! Yay!
When your heart's pounding out of your chest, you can feel the shaking as you're running out of breath.